Hi, guys. Today I'm talking to Eric Smith, the founder and president of Pillar Seminary, about how we can face into fears and live life without regrets.
Welcome to Happiness Adventure. I'm Lisa, and together we'll explore ways to cultivate real joy in our lives.
I want to ask you about something I've never heard before, and that is to not try to overcome fears. And what do you say instead?
So I often say that you should follow your fears, and I think the basic idea is that great opportunities are accompanied by fears, and so over the years I've sort of learned how to use fear or anxiety or discomfort or that kind of feeling of to sort of indicate, oh, this might be something to lean into.
And how do we identify which feelings are leading us to fear and opportunity, and what might be things we should run away from?
So obviously, if there's a giant semi coming down the road that you want to cross, and the fear kicks in, obviously that's not an opportunity you should probably pursue. So yeah, I mean, it all has to be taken with a grain of salt. What I usually try and have people do is, rather than start with your fear, start with your opportunity. Like, start by thinking through what opportunities might be on the horizon, but it can be individual things, of course. It can be a young man asking a girl to prom. Um, it, it, we don't have to think in terms of big life changing business type opportunities. It can be an opportunity to connect with someone, which requires vulnerability. And that vulnerability can feel, downright terrifying at times. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's those kinds of things that I'm trying to get at. So usually what I do is start with talking a conversation about opportunities, and then what'll start to come out are the different concerns or fears or anxieties surrounding a particular opportunity. And it's at that point that I kind of start to say, this might be a fear worth following.
So you founded a seminary, and that sounds
Yes.
like a very bold undertaking. What kind of fear did you have around that, if any?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's really funny because I didn't have fear around some of the things that people would assume that I had fear. So, for example, going out on my own, um, finances. How is that going to affect finances? That actually wasn't all that terrifying. Partly because I was a professor before that, and professors don't, you're not making a ton of money as a professor, so to do the work to replace that salary, that wasn't actually the big fear. I think the biggest fear in getting the seminary off the ground was the vulnerability. It was, am I willing to declare I think there's a better way? And am I willing to be open and honest about what I think the better way is, knowing full well that there will be a lot of people who are not interested. They don't think it's a better way. You're just taking on that risk of looking like a fool. I think that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. And so, what was your process like to see that fear as an opportunity?
I just sat down and I just listed all the fears that I had, and I made sure that I made at least 20 items on that list before I moved on. And then from there, I would ask myself, okay, um, how might I avoid this fear? So if I write down, I'm afraid of ending up having to travel too much by going and speaking places. Okay, how might I avoid that fear? Well, it turns out it's pretty simple to avoid that fear. Pick how many jobs you're going to do and limit yourself to that many opportunities. And all those fears feel way bigger when they're just rolling around in my head and I haven't actually pinned them down and made it concrete. And a lot of times once I start to make them concrete, I kind of go, oh, well, gee, that's actually not as big a deal as I thought it was. And it dawned on me that if I were to get to the end of life and look back and see there was this big opportunity that I didn't even take a chance on. I realized that that would create regret for me. Um, and there's a popular saying that we always regret what we don't do more than what we actually do. And so, what I hate to see is when somebody has a good opportunity in front of them that really lights them up, that provides an opportunity to grow or to do something new, and they allow the fear or the discomfort or the anxiety to prevent them from seizing an opportunity. I just don't want to see people missing out on opportunities, missing out on chances to grow, to achieve goals, to move forward in things in life, because there was some discomfort or some fear along the way.
We just heard from Eric Smith, the founder and president of Pillar Seminary, and the link to his seminary and his podcast are in the description box right below this video, so be sure to check those out. In the comment section, let me know, is there something that you were really fearful of that turned out to be a great opportunity? Before you go, subscribe to Feed Your Happy with a bite-sized video each week, and I look forward to seeing you soon for our next happiness adventure.